next year.
Talk to me about what the futures further out are saying. What is the best guessing on what's going to happen?
Well, typically we would see some relief from South America. They have an opposite growing cycle than we do because they're in another hemisphere. And then obviously because we're not a fixed income or we're not an equity, we'll grow corn again next year. So
right.
A lot of times with this cyclical commodities trade, we will sometime in the future get some corn. It's just when. However, because we are the king of corn and we are a big exporter,
right.
The rest of the world, if they come in any stress, they can't get the corn either, so they'll take it from the southern hemisphere. So this could be a long and prolonged situation where I think in the short term, the consumer at home will be looking to pay 3 to 5% more for the stuff on their dinner table, and ultimately it could be as high as 10%.
And of course, the thing about corn today, which was the case 10 or 15 years ago, but it's much more today, is it's not just the stuff on your dinner table. It's not just the high fructose corn syrup or the corn products or the soybean products. This is working its way into all sorts of other things, including animal feed.
Right, and that's the converse effect. You know, the farmers can't feed their animals; they're rushing to the market. So you've got cattle futures here that are on session lows all the time because they just can't feed them. But 6 months out, you've got cattle futures a lot higher because we're going to have a shortage of beef. So the hot, dry weather makes it uncomfortable to barbecue, number one. Number two, they're rushing these cattle to market to get rid of them. So the price for cattle, even though we have small herds now, is still very low. But ultimately, you're going to see a tightness in that commodity because there just won't be any beef out there because they couldn't afford to feed them and grow them.
And the distinction between this and, let's say, oil. If you're an oil producer and there's a shortage and the price of the commodity goes up, sad for the world, really good for you. This is a very highly unusual situation that corn producers in the United States are seeing a price for their commodity increase, and they are actually taking it on the chin. Their cost of operation is higher, and they are not reaping a reward for their product.
Right, and you know, the only guy that's really busy out there in the cornfields right now is the insurance adjuster. You know, we see pictures every day come across our trading desks of professional farmers farming 4, 5, and 6,000 acres, cutting the corn down to use as silage because it's just not good enough for corn. The pellets are so small, we can't get anything out of them. So we've got people that are declaring a disaster, calling in the insurance company, and any rain, we're getting so close right now, any rain that we might get now, it might not matter.
Yeah. All right, Scott. Thanks for joining us. It's a tough situation, and we'll be checking in with you. This is definitely a story, as you painted, that kind of affects everybody in the world, from the farmer to the trader to the consumer of pretty much anything that you could possibly need. Scott Chaletti joining us from the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. All right, let's take a look at stocks again, where they're going right now. We are